This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Black Magus, and I'm home, chilling, relaxed now. I've calmed down. Whew. Man, it's been a crazy day. I worked all day, didn't have lunch, never took a break. Had to go from the end of the earth back towards home, and sorry for not muting my phone. But I just wanted to cut this video real quick to let you guys know that in between work and home, I decided to meet up with a friend who was just as enthusiastic about going as I was to see Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So glad I finally saw it. Can mark that off my bucket list. I am going to make sure to go to the movies for each and every one of this new franchise. Now, we've heard a lot of controversy, a lot of divisiveness in opinions when it comes to this movie. Me personally, I have to say, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. There are some things that make me think it's a fantastic movie, and I can see why some people will say that it may be the best Star Wars movie yet. But I don't want to get too deep into this. I just want to give a quick take, no spoilers, just to go over what I thought in brief. And then hopefully I'll be able to hook up with my boy Eurostrix. We can do a year-end Star Wars podcast like we did a podcast for the last one and discuss how we feel about it. And I can go into more in more depth about my feelings towards the movie, because I have a lot of strong opinions. I have strong opinions that I feel like will be negative to a lot of people. They're not the negative opinions that you think they're going to be, however. You know, the criticism that I have is not necessarily with this film itself. So, but I don't want to get too in detail. What I will say is this. I can definitely understand why they offered Rian Johnson the opportunity to do his own trilogy. I think he understands the universe and he has an idea and a very deep understanding of where it can, may, and probably needs to go in the future. When you talk about different Star Wars movies, you know, I know a lot of people didn't like certain things that happen. The major things that people harp on the most, I won't say them, but to me, they weren't that bad. I thought one was actually poetically fitting and actually seriously an homage to Star Wars lore, which I think a lot of people never really paid attention to when they started getting up in arms about it. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, that was a dope way to do that. There's a couple of dope things. There's a lot of things that people are like harping on that I'm like, really? That's a big issue to you? No, not to me. And I feel like a lot of their arguments against those things kind of counter their arguments for certain things that they would have liked to see as Star Wars. But it's a very weird it's a very weird thing to me to see like how much divisiveness there is in people with this movie. Partially, I get it. Again, as someone who was alive for the first Star Wars, didn't see it until I was 6. But you know, I'm older than the Star Wars franchise itself by a couple of years. I've seen, I saw the movies growing up, so they're truly a part of my childhood. Whereas some people might have had gotten introduced to them during their childhood, I grew up in that era. I went to see the Return of the Jedi in theaters for my birthday at 8 years old. So it was like that was always a part of my upbringing. Seriously, it was something that I grew with, and I gotta say I love the direction that this has grown in, and I am very very curious to see where it's going, how they're gonna take it. I think it sets up future movies and future ideas for this franchise, be it books, movies, video games, whatever media, very, very well. It gives future directors, writers, developers a brilliant canvas to work with. And I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. I know a lot of people were up in arms, and I was one of those people who griped a little as well about them destroying certain canon and, shrinking the universe down to just the films and certain pieces of lore. But I have to say, this movie to me is a rebirth, and it's a well-needed rebirth, and it's something that I think that if people stop and take a little time to really look, they'll realize that this is probably the right thing to do for this. It's giving the franchise life, which for someone like me, I love that. It's reinvigorated it for me, but that's just my quick take on the movie. Anyway, I won't say don't put spoilers and stuff in the comments, because I know how you are, internet. You're gonna do it just to be spiteful, and think it's funny. That's fine. Say what you will. I hope that in the comment section I get people more reacting to what I said in my opinion, rather than trying to just be dicks. But hey, it can't stop you. That's all good. Have at it, jackasses. That's what makes your life happy. Be happy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.